Good evening. It's been a minute. I went to a townhouse meeting with the Senator Steve Cohen on Friday, and my issue that I wanted to talk about was adding on $530 one time to Social Security, um, so that because like $700, $800, like the majority of the people around here get. Um, with the price of getting cars, insurance, rent, utilities, food, buying hygiene things like deodorant, toilet paper, all they become a luxury. Yeah, because a lot of people, like, how much it is to rent or to buy or lease something. It's not cheap. And then if you have student loans. So anyway, so there are some of the issues. Can you see that, Congressman? Oh, I had notes on that. A little sloppy. Congressman Steve Cohen. Sort of, I hate the way I say his name. But anyway, I'm nasal. Uh, they're going to talk about the criminal injustice, or they did, to increase funding by $4 million for the programs to reduce the rape kits. They had like rape kits that's starting to test. I guess they did find they had a serial rapist, but like I know hold on. I know when they started with the AIDS epidemic and the crack epidemic, when it got really big, like in 1979, um, uh, the cocaine and rape went up at the same time, and that wasn't anything that was focusing on was rape or embezzlement or kidnapping, blackmail or anything like that. They were just trying to get the young dealers in jail, and they didn't really concentrate really at all on how it was coming in, because you remember the Oliver North trials about the CIA bringing in cocaine, and I know a lot of people remember when they were in high school, or no, junior high school in the 70s, when the police, confronted you about gangs and all this stuff. And so, in a lot of cases, uh, the police that they had, like in the 70s, or a lot of the immigrants that we had coming in the 70s, were, a lot like the ones that you see in the movies, like Al Capone or Scarface, or, um, and we didn't have anything like rehabilitation like they did for the Caucasian people, like they did in the 50s. Like if you ever look at the James Dean movie Rebel Without a Cause, they were big on rehabilitating uh, these criminals, um, aspect of society. Now, it's profitable, so they got money for the rape kits, because they for uh so anyway. And then the other thing they're going to talk about is a reform act for the bipartisan bill to reduce um, um, mandatory sentence for drug offenses. So, for the Fair Sentence Act. So that'll be good. That'll be good because with the mandatory like a lot of non-violent and just well, it's just really been devastating in one sense to the local income, because the money that they generate by incarcerating in prison people, since it is on the market, that money doesn't really go back to the community locally. So it's not generating any money for the citizens, or the Joneses, or the person working at McDonald's, or the person working for Allstate Insurance. Is not generating anything from them. So that's a major problem. Anyway, then they have we're talking about police training to Independent Review Act to create a incentive for the state to require independent investigations in prostitution, including in which police use deadly force to prosecute police in which they use. This bill has been endorsed by the NAACP. We all know the NAACP is never ever done anything, and um, and the police do need retraining. They really do because like they just our new white mayor Republican, he got a whole bunch of more police on the force. They're gonna be tripping over each other. The only problem with the police and the training they have now is sort of destructive. They had a house over here, and the guy had rented in this home for like over 20 years, and he's always paid his rent on time. But I guess the thing that they were saying he had drugs. Like they missed the whole thing that he was a pedophile. But anyway, because he had all these young teenage boys, so they put holes all in the walls looking for drugs. And I think they found one of the some drugs on one of the teenager boys. So anyway, and yeah, I guess like that's one of the things pedophiles do is they have to keep the kid intoxicated because like if they're not in puberty, it's could be painful. If they are in puberty, and anyway, and they they're just I don't know. But anyway, any type of forcing and manipulating, coercion, or having to have him unconscious. So there's a reason why he probably had a lot of heavy drugs. And I know one thing, he was selling a Viagra. So I think I think he might have had a drug habit. But anyway, so they put holes all in the wall, and so it usually like somebody like me, like like very poor or fixed income, they came in here and do that. Yeah, the city's gonna end up owning the property because you can't do what can you do? Well, they fixed it. They haven't had anybody in there. The landlord's screwed. You know, I noticed that the business people get screwed in a lot of ways. But anyway, but they do need retraining so that they can understand that when they because like but anyway but they didn't get the man for pedophiling. I don't even know. Like I know he removed, so I don't even know really what's going on. So it but so anyway, I feel sorry for the children. They get victimized twice with the type of thinking that some of this anyway, poor boys. And poor girls, it don't make a difference to a pedophile, male or female. If they just was into having their penis sucked, it doesn't make a difference, you know. And from the way these men talk, it's easier to turn the flip a man that a male than it is a female because of because like instead of them telling when your balls drop you're a male, they could play on that type of what I'm saying because like I gotta prove I'm a male all the time, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, when your balls drop, okay, you're a male, you're born with a penis, no, it's very simple. You don't have to prove shit to nobody. I'm like, fuck you. Anyway, so anyway, tomorrow's Martin Luther King Day. So happy Martin Luther King Day. So they're gonna have more training with the police. With the NWCPA, I can see that being a failed thing. Um, and they're also the U.S. Attorney General, uh, Loretta Lynch, to open a federal investigation into a shooting death of a Darius Stewart by a Memphis police officer. But see, they don't have to worry about really the people, African Americans in Memphis, getting a signing or really protesting anything like Ferguson because they're so oppressed. And when I went to their Bible study, I was gonna go to this other one. I guess I probably got this one guy Matt who was gonna go to Wednesday Bible study, but anyway, I didn't go. Somebody offered me a ride. I sort of hinted, but It was cold that night. But anyway, I noticed in the Bible study that what the information that they gave to do the Bible study on, and they were doing Cain and Abel, instead of saying that he disrespected, did not honor his mother and father, he did not honor his father. That's breaking the Ten Commandments. They're going on about giving a gift from the heart. This is what it's right after Christmas. Oh, give a gift to your heart. You know what I'm saying? No, it's about if you don't have respect for the people that birth you, you know what I'm saying? You know, and you'll make choices, and then your choices but it was not going to be respected because you're making choices on your selfish own wants and needs as a child, right? Nobody's going to respect you. You're like, oh well, I'm going to keep the best one, but here's a scrawny one, Dad. You raised me, you fed me when I couldn't feed myself, you clothed me when I couldn't clothe myself, and you taught me how to feed and clothe myself. So if this is my repayment, I'm giving you this less than par animal. So then when you find out, you feel ashamed, you feel humiliated. Instead of rectifying it and solution and apologizing and, turning around and doing the correct thing, he killed his brother, which is also, breaking one of the Ten Commandments. You know what I'm saying? So he acted as a child. He did as a child, but he was a grown ass man. He had no self respect for where he came from. You don't respect your parents, you don't respect yourself. But anyway, that's not the lesson they was teaching. So don't be killing your brother. It's disrespectful to yourself. Anyway. so they also they're gonna have a deadly force a transparent act to the state to collect data and all. I don't even know what I'm reading right here. For the police for using deadly force. Okay, never mind. I'm through with that. Anyway, so they went on about different things they're going to try to do. The only thing I didn't hear them trying to do is to raise the Social Security because we didn't get a raise and everything's went up. The price of chicken, the only thing that went down is nothing. Oh, they also want to have to pay. He wants a pay workers a living wage act to increase the minimum wage from its current level 7.25 an hour to 15 an hour by 2020. So he's for a better living wage. They want and also with the neighborhood grant, they have 30 billion for a choice neighborhood grant for the Department of Housing and Urban Development (HUD) to redevelop footy homes, and etc., and some schools and public transportation and a job creation. So there's 30 million coming in for that. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good meeting. It was a pretty good meeting. I really enjoyed myself just getting out. They even got something on education, amendment to the elementary and the secondary education reauthorization act to allow funding to be used for justice program to reduce the school to prison pipeline. Hallelujah. So they do. So they have. He has some good ideas. I like our congressman Coleman. I think he's a good speechman. I like his ideas. I don't know how he's gonna be able to do anything with the mayor. The mayor here in Memphis got he added more people onto the police force, so they'll be tripping over each other. When I was waiting on the bus on Third, it was like policemen sitting right across the bus there, And I remember one of the guys I'm like, look at him sitting there way, way back. I'm like, he's not gonna be getting tickets or nothing. I'm like, maybe he's looking and they were like, well, he's looking at that other lady across the street at the bus stop. It was raining with she had her umbrella and she had closed up her umbrella for a minute and then reopened her umbrella when it started back raining again. And they're like, as long as he's not fucking with us. And I'm like, exactly. But see, that's all her opinion. It's not like, oh look, we feel safe because there's a policeman there. It's more like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna fuck with me, and the whole goddamn store gonna get shot up here. And a stray bullet will happen fucking hit me, right? but he'll fuck with me. So you just don't feel comfortable. And the idea that they put holes in that one, I feel sorry for that landlord. That's why I'm not. Some people like, oh, you should rent out and stuff like that. Well, they can't really afford really any type of rent for the damages that they do. And it's really because it's a poor area. We have a high crime rate uh, because there's no jobs for it. I mean, I felt really sorry for this young guy. He was like in his 30s now, and he just never worked. And he's trying to turn around, but it's not gonna happen because he's already labeled and looked at, even though he ain't even. It's just like this one friend of mine that had seizures, and like, because crack does cause seizures. Like if you throw white stuff down, that picking is actually a form of seizure. Anything they do repetitive, they can't stop is considered a seizure, be it just shaking or pecking, whatever. And so like, um, it was actually the sweeteners that's causing him to have seizures. Because I read up and seen some stuff on YouTube about that, and a few other places, also a medical journal somewhere, uh, about the harmful effects of the sweeteners and how they could cause seizures. Well, he stopped using the diet coke, because I knew he wasn't drinking, I knew he wasn't doing cocaine, I know he wasn't, even though he is in a crack affected area, and the type of way he lives, would probably be labeled as somebody that would be, but he just happens, you know, and a lot of it is some people, really can't afford that to live that lifestyle because they don't have the funds, absolutely don't have the funds. So, you know, anyway, so that's my week.